This is Henry, James, and Mike, and there is never a dull moment with them. The three friends are bringing unfiltered guy talk into the podcast landscape with the Wet Podcast, having weekly discussions and debates on what everyone is thinking. They are making major moves.
Major move. Ooh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Major Moves with Tyrah Majors. This is the show where people are highlighted for doing major things. We're switching it up today. We are in podcast mode. You guys always see me in the TV studio, but today I wanted to bring some very special guests, my friends from Cal State Fullerton, Mike, James, and Henry. Introduce yourself, guys.
I'm the host of the What Podcast. Go by Mike. Oh my God, I'm like getting all caught up in a moment. Mike Angelo, aka Mike. I know, yeah, low key. Mike Angelo, aka Mike Lowry. It's different when you're not in the same setting.
I feel you.
It is different. It is different.
Yeah.
Yo, what up? It's your boy. It's Young Hen Dog. I'm in the building. You feel me? Young Night Shot Boy.
Night Shot Boy.
Yo, check out the Wet Podcast, man. We have dope content. Hope y'all like this interview, man.
Shit, what's good? It's James, aka Wingstop Poppy, aka back to back.
The what?
National League Wingstop Poppy, man. You know
Okay.
You guys have so many AKAs.
Okay.
I think Henry was the only one that didn't have an AKA.
More AKs than Howard.
I have more movies.
More
More AKs than Howard.
What does WAT stand for? What does it mean?
What everybody's thinking.
What
One is thinking.
What everyone is thinking.
Yeah.
Little acronym.
Right. You guys cover everything in your podcast. You go from music, you go from sports, you go from entertainment, politics.
A little bit of politics.
How much research goes into creating one episode? Or is it, I don't know, why is that a funny question?
Yeah, why are you
Is
laughing?
it no research? Because you guys are so well informed on so many different topics.
I mean, do we really do that much research?
We don't do any research at all.
Honestly, I just pay attention. That's just what it is.
I feel like I'm really interested in a lot of different things.
Like, I'm not necessarily an expert on like too many things, but I just
Right.
pay attention and I keep my eyes open. So
Okay. What I think is cool, though, is that you really cover a wide range of topics. I mean, one day you're going from the Jussie Smollett stuff to whatever's going on with Michael Jackson and to R. Kelly to Nicki Minaj and Cardi B beef. It's like you cover everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why is it important to you that, you know, you're catering this news to like a millennial audience? I'd say it's for millennials.
It kind of just stemmed from like guy talk, like just more so general like hip hop, sports talk, like things that we're more so interested in.
Right.
And those are things we already like are pretty knowledgeable about. And whatever just pops up that we feel that is, you know, not provocative, but it's just newsworthy, that we may have a strong opinion. Because we all three of us have pretty strong opinions. So we just figure, hey, why not, like, you know, we always argue, we always debate, why not record it, you know?
definitely got like a big start for this, for like in the BSU in the ARC every day, just like
chopping it up.
Those
like
days.
sometimes it'll just be regular convos, and
And
then
obviously there was the other days where it would just get super heated and like nobody was friends after. So yeah, definitely a big influence for the pod.
Right. Speaking of BSU and those times back at Cal State Fullerton.
Shout out Fully.
Shout out to Fullerton. There's some great times there. Do you think that there's a lack in black male representation in the media
Oh, definitely.
as far as like this type of stuff, news and podcasts and just that guy talk?
Yeah. I definitely feel strongly about it. I mean, yeah, like just what Henry was alluding to. It just kind of started off with us mainly just arguing all the time, and then it just got into like, man, like people would just back away from the conversation and then just let us like rant. So yeah, it's just funny to see like how like, I guess the biggest thing is people say like we're like super relatable, so that's why I feel like it works so well.
Right. Super relatable.
Our podcast is definitely a dope place, like where we have like a safe space where we can just get our thoughts off, because we live in a time where it's like people are very sensitive and you kind of have to like filter yourself in a way, but we kind of come on there and we say what we think. Like that's why it's called the Wet. So we say what everybody else is thinking. They might be afraid to say. So
I really think it's cool is that you all have your own individual personalities. They all come out so well in the episode. You're like, Mike, you're like, let's party, let's go to the strip club, but you're also just like super grounded, you know, like.
I mean, like, hey, I'm all about having fun, so I just go with what everybody else is doing. If it sounds fun, I'm with it. So.
And Henry, from what I observe,
Right.
you're super just mellow. You're like chill. You're just like, yeah, I just hung out with my girl this weekend.
Hey, FBMA baby,
Yeah.
FBMA
Like
baby.
members, all three
You
of us.
didn't know I'm the logo, so man, check it out.
Don't get it twisted. You can go to the strip club and be in a relationship at the same time.
I feel that.
facts.
I know you're pretty booed up too. And I was
Yeah,
gonna
facts.
say, I mean, I thought you guys all were in relationships. You guys were all like the prime example of like, black men don't cheat. Just like positive examples.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely.
We
You
absolutely
totally
are.
are, but of
Yeah.
course, you still like to have fun.
Right.
Right.
And then James, you're just like the jokester. You just like
Am
I'm just going off from the last episode.
Yeah, I feel you.
Favorite like
We-
discussion topic.
Okay.
We talked about a lot of things in a lot of different episodes.
What was it? It was Hell Yeah, My Girl Can Propose to Me.
Okay.
That was by far my
Okay,
favorite.
I
with
didn't
Kim
hear
in it?
that one.
Huh?
With a Kimmy?
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite. I wasn't even on it.
Yeah.
That shit was funny though.
What was the theme of that show?
So basically, we ran down the current events, but then at the end we do question of the week.
Right.
So then, with that being said, the question of the week was, would you let your girl propose to you? And so it was friendly banter that basically I think it was Henry and Akemi were like, no, I wouldn't, and I said, oh, I'm open to it. And so we question a lot of social norms on our show. So yeah.
Defeating the social norms.
Mhm.
Right.
And it wasn't necessarily that I wouldn't, but I was just saying that my girl right now is not open to it. So I'm open to
Oh,
it.
you
She
open
said
to it?
no.
Oh,
okay.
So, yeah.
Got
So
you.
later on, if your girl proposed to you, you would be like, oh, that's fine. Like you wouldn't be like, no, like let me be the one to propose. Let's redo this.
I think the only thing that would suck about that is like I'm a planner, so if I had come up with a scheme beforehand, that would suck. But I mean, I'll be open to it. I'll be open
Okay.
to it.
Like run that back
Definitely.
turbo.
Would you propose Tyrah to a man you love? I should have seen the look.
Oh, we got it.
Oh,
we got it.
yeah,
We
we
for
got
sure
it.
got it.
Cameras up.
Would I propose to a man?
That you would love deeply.
I'm all for, like 2019 feminism, equality,
Of
like
course.
screw gender standards. But I think I would rather a man propose to me. I think it's just like the more traditional way. I don't know, every woman kind of, or as a young girl, you just imagine your proposal someday in your life. And,
Right.
But
you
what
know,
if you met the one? Like you're
and
like,
he wouldn't propose to me? Well, if I met the one, I would be like, propose to me. Like, wait.
oh, so you would tell him.
Isn't
If it
that
was the right time, I don't know.
isn't that proposing by telling somebody, hey,
Low
you
key.
should, because you're like, what is a proposal? Like, it's a proposal of an
You're
idea,
right.
right?
So if you
You're
bring it up
right.
first, you technically propose to him.
Like, hey, I'm thinking about marriage.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a proposal? I think that's a conversation.
But isn't it the actual act though?
Yes, the proposal is the act.
I think those are two different things.
You have to.
Those are two different things.
You have to be. Will you
I get what
marry
y'all are trying to say.
I
I'm
but-
going by like the definition,
proposal
dictionary
or
definition.
wedding proposal?
If I say, hey, we should go get lunch at fucking Subway, that's me.
Me proposing.
You're being suggestive.
Since we're on the topic of like women making the first move, how do you guys feel about that? Like, do you like when girls take initiative?
Women
and
need to
they're
shoot
just
their
like,
shot
Hell
more.
yeah.
They just shoot their shot more.
Women are trash at shooting their shot.
What?
Like just looking, just giving me a little side eye from across the room is not shooting your
Okay,
shot.
what's
That's
an
not it.
example of someone shooting their shot then that you've experienced that you were like, that's freaking trash, do better?
Every girl I've ever like
Man.
dated has shot their shot with me.
And how was that?
Oh, yeah, we've talked about
It's
it.
dope. Nah, relax, relax,
James
relax.
is Wingstop coffee.
Some are direct, some are indirect, but I don't know. They just like they act like they're super duper interested in whatever you're doing, even if it's like some bullshit. And then you're like, oh, like you can see it from the, like the jump. You know what I mean? You can tell like when it's friendly, and then when it's like, okay, she's trying to be flirty, and then you just like just go along with it, and just I kind of just see how far she would go. You know what I mean?
So they act like they're interested. So like
Yeah.
for example, I think I've like shot my shot a couple times, like by commenting on like a story that I really
Right.
didn't care about. But I was
Okay.
just
Oh,
like,
okay.
oh, like give them like the clapping hands or just
Nah.
like
That's not shooting a shot
it's
though.
not.
See,
That's
this is
not-
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, that's the bare minimum.
That's like showing them that you're interested.
So-
I've
so
shot
hold on,
my
hold on.
shot in more extreme ways.
Like what?
Like asking someone out. Just
Oh,
straight
okay.
up.
Then
That's not
that's
shooting
shooting
your
your
shot.
shot.
That's cool.
But I think that's like a subtle flirtatious way. Is it social media, right?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
Generally speaking, the way
True.
Tyrah shoots her shot, her go-to is the clapping hands on your Instagram
Clapping
story.
hand.
That's just one way.
So if you ever
So if
see
you-
clapping
Hard
hands
eyes
from Tyrah,
Hard eyes.
Okay, heart.
Hard
Get on it.
eyes on the story. I have another question though.
Okay.
Since you guys are both, or you guys are all, not you anymore, but you're in long-term relationships, you know, like very long-term relationships. At what point do you think it's safe to make it official with someone after dating? How long of dating? How long of making it official? Like, what's like the proper timeline, or is there a proper timeline?
What do you think?
I would say a rule of thumb, I guess, is to like. I feel like your relationship should be like a crock pot, so it should be like a slow cook. You definitely, it shouldn't. Honestly, I don't think it should be like in the first 3 months. Honestly, that you should be official. It should be sometime after that. I think after 3 months, then that's when you kind of get out of that honeymoon phase, and then you kind of figure out, okay, this is somebody I want to be with, and you start to see some of their flaws maybe, and how they really feel about you when they're not like goo goo gaga and like hard eyes and all this stuff. Like they're just, they take down their wall. So
Okay, so like
I'll say
talking
after,
/ dating for like 3 months.
yeah,
I would say definitely slow cook on that though.
Oh,
Sure.
crock pot, I like that metaphor.
I think it's
What y'all think?
circumstantial. So I can't sit here and say there's a proper timeline for when you're supposed to do this, because every relationship, even every friendship, is like extremely complex in my opinion. Like it's all unique. Like it's like a snowflake. So I would just say, my advice would, if I were to have like a kid and tell him, like, he was asking me, yo, how should I go about like making a girl my girlfriend? I would just say, you shouldn't make her your girlfriend if she isn't, like, not to sound corny or no shit, but like if she isn't your best friend.
Facts.
And then that's the first step, and then like getting to know each other, like making sure y'all are on the same page as like far as fundamental things as far as like money, family, cheating, just living situation, future goals, what they want for themselves, and how they expect other people, you know what I mean, their expectations from people and shit.
Right.
I think as soon as you can get those two things out of the way, then yeah, by all means. If it only takes a week, then sure. If it takes 5 years, then so be it. I think it's just as long as those two things are knocked out, in my opinion.
So finding a connection doesn't really matter on like the timing of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I lean more towards.
I feel like you're always the opposing opinion. I'm sorry.
No, I lean more towards James because
Okay.
I don't put a timeline on it. I gauge it by the quality of dates. So like, I for me, like, I know by like the 5th date.
By the 5th date.
By the
5
5th date, I
dates.
know.
Okay.
So if you like, you're not gonna link up with that person every weekend. There's
Right.
gonna be some space in between.
That's true.
So there's gonna be like, it could be either like a month and a half, or it could be what, like 2 months, a little bit more. So yeah, I feel like you'll know then. Otherwise, like, you're just gonna be playing games with that person, leading them on. So
Okay. Yeah, playing games, leading on, that's never a good thing, right? Unfortunately, my camera died in the middle of this interview, but please be sure to follow the Wet Podcast. You can find them on Google Play, SoundCloud, Apple Music. Just keep up with them. Look for that purple water droplet and subscribe. Tune into them. If you or you know someone who is making major moves, please go to my website and send me an email. It's www.tyrahmajors.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.